Daf Yomi Tractate Bava, page 100b, top of the page, continuing from the bottom of 100a, where it was said they basically, a process of elimination, came to the statement that it's referring to of Rabbi Meir from a statement that he made in the Tosefta, Kilayim 3:4, that if there was a partition of a vineyard that is adjacent to wheat field, and that partition broke open, and now we're on 100b top, which was Omer, Lo, Gedor, etc. The owner of the wheat field may tell the owner of the vineyard to repair the breach before the vines intermingle with the grain and cause it to become forbidden. If the partition broke open again, he may tell him to repair it. If the owner of the vineyard abandoned the partition and did not repair it, he has rendered the grain forbidden and is obligated to pay restitution for it. This demonstrates that one is liable to pay damages, even if he did not perform any action at all, and consequently proves that Rabbi Meir rules there is liability for damage caused by indirect action. Mishnah, new Mishnah, Hanosein Tsemer Litzvah. In the case of one who gives wool to a dyer, and it was burned in the cauldron during the dyeing process, thereby completely ruining the wool, so that there is no enhancement, only loss, the dyer gives the owner the value of his wool. If he dyed it unattractively, so that the dye is not absorbed well by the wool, if the enhancement, that is the amount that the value of the wool had increased by being dyed, exceeds the dyer's expenses, the owner of the wool gives the dyer the expenses. And if the expenses exceed the enhancement, he gives him the value of the enhancement. If the owner gave wool to a dyer to dye it red for him, and instead he dyed it black, or to dye it black and he dyed it red, Rabbi Meir says the dyer gives the owner of the wool the value of his wool. Rabbi Yehuda says, here too, if the value of the enhancement exceeds the dyer's expenses, the owner of the wool gives the dyer the expenses. And if the expenses exceed the enhancement, he gives him the value of the enhancement. The Gemara clarifies, what does the Mishnah mean by unattractively? Rabbi Nachman said that Rabba bar Chana said kalabus. The Gemara asks, what does kalabus mean? Rabba bar Shmuel said,